season we go over in League Two with still some major scores to settle. Who's going to join Forest Green and Exeter City into the League One, of course, and who's going to make the playoffs? We'll take a look at it, all of it, next. Giving another prediction video today. We look forward to match number 46 over in League 2. That's right, League 2 to you and me, of course, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe button, keep banging today. All things League 2 related, Rose related, world football related. We're all here, boys, under one rooski. Goodness gracious me, what an end of the season climax we will have over in League 2, and of course with a lot of drama to be settled on the final day. We all probably, hopefully, singly, maybe just, of course, do a end of the season a watch along sort of thing. So if you are part of League 2, if your team is part of League 2, you want to come and join me as we all see the conclusion of it, join me here, right here at Blackburn Rovers. But anyway, before that, smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe, big shout out to my patrons, of course, who support the channel behind the scenes. I appreciate that, guys. But anyway, let's jump in the deep end, of course, and have a little look at what went on last round, of course, last weekend. These were the results. Carlisle, big 2-1 win over Stevenage, of course. Stevenage ending the season in a bit of a squib, but could they be contenders next season? Colchester United with a 2-2 draw against Walsall. Crawley lost at home to Leyton. Orient. Forest Green Rovers also lost to Harrogate Town, but they're already in party mood. Northampton Town, though, with just a draw against Exeter, who leapfrog Forest Green into top spot, of course. Meanwhile, Port Vale have hit the shitters at the wrong time as well with a 2-1 win for Newport County. 7-goal thriller at Scotland with a 4-3 win for Bristol Rovers. That match last season was, of course, in League 1. Salford City, of course, a 2-2 draw against Mansfield. It looks like everybody is on his way out at Salford. Scunthorpe United with a 1-1 draw against Hartlepool. Sutton, big loss there, 4-1 loss against Bradford City. Swindon, a 2-1 win over Barrow. And Tranmere with a 2-0 win over Oldham, of course, to set up this. This is what it looks like right now. We do know Scunthorpe and Oldham are down. That's toast. They're going to be in the National League next season. However, we also know Exeter City and Forest Green Rovers are up. But that's, of course, all we know. We still need to find out who's going to be the champions and who's going to fit in that third spot. At the time of asking right here and now, Northampton Town are in there with 77 points, with Barton's boys sitting beneath them in fourth spot on goal difference. So, of course, a win for Northampton. It looks like it might be enough for them, but, of course, a draw or loss, and then up steps Barton's boys. But also breathing down there next is Cloughie's boys in fifth spot. Port Vale in sixth. Swindon currently reside in that final playoff spot, but Sutton, Tranmere could still sneak in the trapdoor there. And it could all bubble very, very nicely indeed. How about you guys? How did you guys get on? We'll take a bloody bow. These guys, Deep at the Great and JSP City, are great as well. The Great Boys are kicking ass with 8 piece there. But what about, of course, the mini leaderboard? Now, this is, of course, from January onwards. Who's actually kicked ass? It's actually Deep at the Great with 130, with Jimmy Wharton sitting in second spot with 124. And a big shout out to my patrons, boys, who are doing the bits as well. But, of course, we have rolled into the month of May, of course, for who actually won the predictor of the month for the month of April. Now, this is, of course, the stuff here. You can win multiple months. Of course, you can be multiple winners as well. And if you are a winner, whenever it is, from August all the way through to May, you could be in the mix-up. And of course, the winner or winners of League 2 is from April. It's actually Shane O'Donnell. Well done to you. So you got the most points in April, so well done to you, lad. And of course, you join this illustrious list of many, many men. Of course, it's actually quite tight there. Deep at the Great, just a couple of wins there. But of course, who is actually winning the overall competition from the get-go? Well, here is the list in all its glory. Take a bloody bow. Even Hussein, 220, of course, up there with Jimmy Watton, of course, with 217. Deep at the Great and JSP 70 are great in 216. It's still a lot to be decided. We've got 12 games in this week, so that's 12 points right there. Of course, we have the playoffs to decide. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more points. So we've got 17 more points. So anyone realistically, Shane O'Donnell up, are in it to win it, of course. But anyway, let's kick it all off with the next one. Match is the final game of the season. And here, if you want to get involved, it's free right there. cut League 2. And of course, these are the games. So let's get into it. Of course, Barrow up against Northampton Town. Phil Brown's Barrow been party poopers to the back end of the season, but it's quite the season, pretty good form, of course. But they take on Northampton Town this coming weekend. Place is just the one time as a reverse fixture, of course. So we'll talk about that shortly. Meanwhile, Barrow coming to this 42% form, back-to-back defeats for them up against the Northampton Town, unbeaten, of course, in the last 5, 6, 7% form for John Brady's boys. Coming at you though, last time around was the reverse fixture, a 1-0 win for Barrow in Northampton back in February 2022. Northampton with a draw against Exeter. Of course, Barrow with a 2-1 loss against Swindon. Coming at you, the odds for this game. Of course, Barrow actually 50-4 for the victory, 65 is draw, and 13-8 on is Northampton. They're red hot favourites to win this one. But for me, I think it's going to be a bit of a clanger in the works. There's always a couple of surprises, pressure. Of course, you don't know what's going on elsewhere. And to be honest with you, there shouldn't be any pressure for Northampton. They just need to win this game. However, I see a banana skin right here. I'm going to go with a shocker 1-0 win for Barrow. Is it enough, though, for Northampton to get promoted automatically, or will they have to go through the trapdoor of the playoffs? Bradford City against Carlisle United, of course, coming at you at Valley Parade. Of course, coming at you on the 7th of May. 15 times they played since 2006. 4 wins for Bradford, 9 wins for Carlisle, and 2 draws, of course. Back-to-back wins for Bradford for the first time in a long time. They're actually 50% form for them. 1-2 lost to and drawn 2 over the last 6. Up against the Carlisle side, who've won 2 of the last 3. 42% form over the last 6. Last time, of course, over at Vale Parade was a 1 win for Carlisle. Carlisle actually unbeaten against Bradford over the last 4 occasions. In fact, they have just conceded the 1 goal against them over the last 4 occasions. 1-0 loss it was last time at Vale Parade back in December 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, a 2-0 win at Carlisle back in January 2022. Carlisle picking up a 2-1 win over Stevenage. Bradford with a 4-1 win over Sutton United. The odds, though, for this one, 21-20 is your odds for Bradford. And, of course, Sparky's boys, 12-5 is your draw, and 30-5 is your away win. That's, of course, Carlisle United. 2-0 win for Bradford City here. Take it to the house. Barton's boys breathing down Northampton's neck. Can they get the result up against relegated Scunthorpe, of course? Played 16 times, 2003, 6 wins apiece, and 4 draws scores. Bristol City, they're coming to unbeaten in the last at least 6 games, 83% form, winning 3 in the last 4. Up against the Scunthorpe side, of course, haven't won in the last 15 games. They're down, they're toast, they're in non-league for the first time in forever. Of course, last time around, of course, over at Bristol was a 3-1 win for Scunthorpe. That was in League 1 back in November 2018. The reverse fixture, of course, a 3-2 win for Bristol Rovers back in Scunthorpe in January 2022. What are we looking at here? We're going to go, look, of course, Bristol Rovers picking up a 4-3 win over Rochdale, of course, Scunthorpe with a draw against Hartlepool. The odds, though, coming at you, 5-1 on is your Bristol Rovers, of course, red hot favourites, 5-1 is your draw, and 40-1 is your long shots. For me, I think Bristol Rovers are going to nick this one, and they're going to leapfrog Northampton in the process, and possibly take the automatics away from Northampton Town. Exeter City, of course, go for the title up against Port Vale, who are also sniffing for automatics, I think, or at least trying to secure themselves a good spot in the playoffs. Anyway, played each other 14 times, 2008, 7 wins to Exeter, 5 wins to Port Vale, and 2 draws. Just 1 loss at the last 6 for Exeter right now, 75% form up against the Port Vale side, who've hit the skids at the wrong time. 3 defeats on the spin, 50% form over the last 6 as well. Last time around, of course, over at Port Vale, scrap that at Exeter was a 2-0 win for Port Vale back in September 2020. In fact, Port Vale unbeaten against Exeter over the last 4 occasions, picking up 3 wins and a draw. In fact, they've just conceded 1 goal in the last 4 games against Exeter City. That was a 3-1 loss way back in January 2020. Exeter with a 1-1 draw against Northampton. Of course, Port Vale with a 2-1 loss against Newport County. The odds here, 21-20 is for Exeter for the title, 12-5 is your draw. And of course, 13-5 is your way when that's Port Vale. Remember, Exeter win, they are champions, and that adds a little bit of flavour for you. And of course, your calibre as a manager, 2-0 win in the end for Exeter. And again, that should be enough for them to be champions. But we'll have to wait and see. Get the calculators out on that one. Next, we got Stevenage up against Salford. Of course, Team GB's last match, we believe, coming at you as well on the same day. Everyone's kicking off at the same time. Played each other 5 times in 2019. 5 wins and 5 for Salford. Nothing for Stevenage and no draws. Back-to-back defeats though for Stevenage right now. 58% form up against the Salford side of 1-2 lost to and drawn 2. However, unbeaten in the last 3 games, 50% form for them. Up against last round over at Stevenage was a 1-0 win for Salford. That was back in October 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, a 1-0 win for Salford back in December 2021. Salford picked up a 2-2 draw against Mansfield, and of course Stevenage with the 2-1 loss against Carlisle. The odds here, 11-5 is your host, 12-5 is your draw, and 6-5 is your away win. That is, of course, Salford City going to go with a draw here, 1-1 in the end. And again, Salford's hopes are over for another year. Walsall coming up against Swindon Town. Now these two sides, of course, have played each other 29 times since 1999. 8 wins for Walsall, 10 wins for Swindon, and 11 draws. Just 1 defeat pass forward though for Walsall right now, 42% form. Up against the Swindon side, of course, 1-3 in the bounce. In fact, just 4 wins the last 5 for them, 67% form heading into this match. Last time, of course, over at Walsall was a 2-1 win for Swindon. That was back in December 2021 this season, of course, in the FA Cup. They also played each other at where are we? The reverse fixture, 2-0 win for Swindon back in February 20. It was actually on the 22nd of the 2nd, 22. It was a 5-0 win for Swindon back in the day. So Swindon 3 wins on the bounce against Walsall. They also covered this on the back of a 2-1 win over Barrow, and of course Walsall with a 2-2 draw against Colchester United. The odds for this one, though, we've got, where are you odds? I'm trying to find them. Walsall 11-4 for the victory, 30-5 short, 11-10 on. It is your away win, that Swindon Town. Going to go with a 1-0 win for them, take it to the house and bring home the points. Kicking off forward, it'll be Harrogate Town. I'll get Sutton United, must-win game for Sutton United. Of course, coming at you, Harrogate, of course, on the same kick-off. 6 times their played since 2018, 1 for Harrogate, 4 for Sutton. and 1 draw, of course. Harrogate back-to-back wins for them, 33% form up against Sutton side, of course. Just 1 win the last 3, 67% form over the last 6, though. Coming at you, though, last time round over in Harrogate, it was a 2-0 win for Harrogate back in September 2019. That was in the National League. The reverse fixture, of course, a 1-0 win for Sutton back in December 2021. They also pitched in the EFL Trophy knockout stage. It was a 1-0 win for Sutton, of course, who made the final, of course. In fact, the away side hasn't won this game in the last 6 occasions, so it's going to be a tall order for Sutton to break that trend. Sutton, of course, coming to on the back of that 4-1 loss against Bradford. Of course, Harrogate with a 3-1 win over Forest Green. The odds coming at you for this one: Harrogate 14-5 for the victory, 11-10 on is your Sutton, and 13-5 is your. It is, of course, you're going to be perfect this time around. Sutton, of course, 2-1 win for them. They're going to get the win, but is it going to be enough to get top 7? Of course, next, of course, Hartlepool up against Colchester United, coming at you at Hartlepool as well. Where are you? Where are you, Hartlepool? Coming at you. There you are. And now these two sides have played according to my eyes. 19 times to 3, 6 wins for Hartlepool, 7 wins for Colchester, and 6 draws. Of course, Hartlepool, though, haven't won in the last 8, 17% form up against the Colchester side, of course, just unbeaten in the last 3, 58% form over the last 6 as well. Last time, of course, over in Hartlepool, it was a 1-1 draw back in August 2016 in League 2. The reverse fixture, of course, a 2-1 for Hartlepool in Colchester back in February 2022 as well. Hartlepool picking up a 1-1 draw against Scunthorpe. Colchester with a 2-2 draw against Walsall last round. The odds coming at you for this one then, shall we? We've got Hartlepool 5-4 on for the victory, 12-5 is your draw, and 21-10 is your Colchester. I said 5-4, not 5-4 on. 5-4 is your Hartlepool. They are favoured to win this game. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for them to take it to the house, end the season strongly in front of the home faithful as well. Leyton Orient up against Tranmere Rovers at Brisbane Road. Leyton Orient have been pretty good over the last couple of games. Of course, 24 times they played since 2006. 9 wins to Leyton Orient, 11 wins to Tranmere, and we've got 4 draws, of course. Leyton Orient just 1 defeat past 4 for them, 67% form up against the Tranmere side. Just 1 defeat past 6, 58% form for them heading into this match. Last time around, of course, over at where are we? Brisbane Road in the league. It was a 3-1 win for Tranmere back in February 2021. The reverse fixture, of course, a 1-1 win for Tranmere in Tranmere back in December 2021. This campaign. They also played at Brisbane Road in the FA Cup round, second round back in December this campaign. It was a 4-0 win for Leyton Orient. So a bit of honours even over the season. Of course, this will be the 3rd time they've locked horns. Of course, Leyton Orient picked up a 2-0 win over Crawley, and of course Tranmere with a 2-0 win over Oldham. Of course, back-to-back clean sheets at home for Tranmere on this one. Coming at you though for this, Leyton Orient 31-20 for the victory, 5-2 is your, and 8-5 is your away win. That's Tranmere Rovers. Going to go with a 2-0 win for Leyton Orient. Upset the apple cart there. Tranmere's hopes are over. Mansfield Town up against Forest Green Rovers, of course. Mansfield compete for the automatics. Forest Green could be on the beaches, of course. Played 21 times, 2008, 10 wins for Mansfield, 6 for Forest Green, and 5 draws. Of course, Mansfield unbeaten the last 3, 58% form up against Forest Green Rovers side, who've just won 1 and 6. Are they gone? They are on the beaches, it appears. The vegan beaches, of course. Last time around, of course, over in Mansfield was a 0-0 draw back in the March 2021. The reverse fixture, of course, a 1-0 win for Forest Green back in April 2022. So back-to-back clean sheets for Forest Green over Mansfield. They come to this on the back of a 3-1 loss against Harrogate. Mansfield with a 2-2 draw against Salford, of course. Coming at you though this time around, over at Mansfield, 7-5 is your host, 23-10 is your draw, and 9-5 is your away win. That's Forest Green Rovers. Back in, of course, a 2-1 win for the host here, Forest Green on the beaches. That's right. Newport County, they're going to be taking on Rochdale, of course, over in Wales. Now, these two sides have played each other 3 times since 2013. 1 for Newport County, 2 for Rochdale, and 0 draws. Newport just 1 win and 4 for them, 33% form over the last 6. I guess Rochdale side just 1 win and 4 for them, 42% form over the last 6 as well. Last round, of course, over in Wales, it was a 2-1 win for Newport County back in May 2014. The reverse fixture, of course, a 3-1 win for Rochdale back in December this campaign. The home side has won every one of these 3 games of the last 3 occasions. However, Rochdale coming to this on the back of a 7-goal thriller, 4-3 loss to Bristol Rovers. Meanwhile, Newport County with a 2-1 win over Port Vale. Coming at you though, the odds for this one: Newport County 4-3 on for the victory. Of course, 14-5 is your draw, and 10-3 is your away win. Of course, it's already over for Newport County, but of course, can they end the season strongly with a win? I think so. 1-0 win for them over in Wales. And of course, the final game in the EFL for Oldham up against Crawley. Of course, now these two sides are locked horns again, same time, same kickoff around the grounds. 13 times they played since 2012. 6 wins for Oldham, 4 wins for Crawley, and 3 draws as well. Oldham lost 5 on the bounce here, 17% form up against Crawley side, who've lost 3 on the bounce, 50% form for them heading into this. Last round over in Oldham was a 3-2 win for Crawley back in September 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, over in Crawley was a 2-2 draw back in March. Crawley picked up a 2-0 loss against Leyton Orient. They've only scored 1 goal in the last 4 games. Meanwhile, Oldham coming to this on the back of a 2-0 loss against Tranmere. They also coming at you for this one, 8-5 is your Oldham, 23-10 is your, and 13-8 is your Crawley. They'll go out with a bang though. 3-1 win in the end for Crawley to take the 3 points, and of course, a bit of extra salt in the wounds there for Oldham as they exit the EFL. That is it, guys. That's all I've got for you. The final game of League 2 will be back, of course, for the playoffs. Of course, who will join Exeter City and the Vegans in League 1. Of course, we'll count down to those as and when we get there. Of course, make sure you smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. Does wonders for your algorithm and all that kind of stuff. But until then, boys, we're done right now.